Hi, this is Melanie of Mel Doodles, and this video is one that I'm doing upon request. It's how to find your style. Well, somebody else asked how to incorporate your style by taking a reference piece of work and kind of translating it into your style. And I thought that I could kind of cover that along with how to develop your style, because I get tons of comments that my style is very distinct and my style is very unique, and a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I could do that. And I find that you can definitely do it. You just there's a couple of key things that I think a lot of people don't think about when it comes to developing your style, and I thought it'd be really cool to talk about it. So there's 5 things specifically that I find are key to developing your style, and these aren't like hack tips on how to find it tomorrow. No, they're just ways that you can these things you can use as a guide to get you to that point. So the first one is, and I think this is very important, and I've heard tons of other artists say this too, and it's I don't think you should be necessarily looking for your style as much as you should just be developing your skill. Because once you develop your skill, your style will come soon after. If you're trying to find a style when your skill isn't up to par, you will be more frustrated, I think, because you're seeking something that doesn't really exist yet. And so the development of your style is an evolution, and is like a process of growth that will come when you are trying to understand the anatomy, or when you're trying to understand still lives and why things sit in a certain space. When you're learning these things, then you start to pick up and understand that these, like your strengths and your weaknesses and things you like and things you don't like. You're kind of going through the learning curve. As you perfect and build your skill and your technique, you will automatically find what makes you feel good, what feels good to you. Number 2 is find the medium that works for you. Now, this might mean that you need to just kind of try everything and anything, or it could also mean that you found what you like automatically and you just need to perfect it. Finding that one thing that you feel really good and comfortable with using and then perfecting it is key. I guess this goes along with number 1, where it's, perfect your skill. But yeah, usually mediums kind of, we try to find the medium that kind of responds well with us. Some of us don't like to use oil because it's too heavy, it's too opaque, and we lean towards watercolors, or vice versa. Or some of us like to use pencils and drafting tools. Some of us like to use ink and inking brushes and stuff like that. So whatever feels comfortable for you, you have to find, and once you find it, it'll translate whatever you're trying to do with your art into the next level. And once you perfect that, then you can just go crazy with the work that you're trying to do. And the quicker and the further you will be able to, well, I guess I just said that, right? The quicker and the further you'll be able to go. Number 3, I guess this goes with number 1 again, is experiment. I specifically said to experiment with shapes. That's what I do when I do my character design. I experiment with shapes of faces and stuff like that, though I like to do these really, really round faces with big round eyes and stuff. Like, that's my characters. I sometimes go into my sketchbook and I will sketch a really random kind of ambiguous shape, and I will try to translate it into a figure or into a form. And this is like a great way to kind of break out of what you're comfortable with and kind of challenge yourself to see imagery within shapes that you're not comfortable with. And this is just a great example of kind of trying to find what you like, and these interesting shapes might, create something more for you. It opens your doors. Number 4 is live drawing, and using reference is key. In school, it was definitely harped on for me to use reference, and a lot of times, a lot of us tend to be like, well, I know what an ear looks like. It's this oval with some more kind of stuff going on the inside, but it's like, do you really know what the ear looks like? And then when you actually look at an ear, there's like so many different things going on, and what we thought the ear looked like when we have the reference right in front of us kind of translates it completely different. And like same thing with like a girl's hair tie or a girl's bow in her hair. It might look like 2 triangles in our head, but when you look at it on a reference, it's nothing like that. It's got so many more things going on, and so reference is so important. And looking at live models and understanding the body and how it moves is very important, because to connect those different shapes, there's all these other smaller shapes that are actually happening, and we have to understand them and know how to translate them into our work. Another thing is I thought would be really important for you guys to think of is there is no such thing as a straight line on a body. A lot of noobs and myself have done this, and a lot of people who are just starting off tend to make these straight lines. They're like, arm straight, but even when I make straight lines, when I go back into trying to refine the work, I try to give a little bit of a soft curvature to it, because nothing on the body is ever straight. That's a good way to kind of go forward with your work. And if you ever see yourself make a straight line, look at it a little bit and be like, maybe I can curve it out a little more. It's just kind of a common thing. Nothing on the body is ever straight. Just a little tip. Yeah, let me see. Okay, so Number five is find your artist circle or your artist posse. I found this to be very important later on in life. For a while, I was just working on my own devices, not really looking at talking to other artists, because I just didn't have any other artist friends that I was talking to. And so when I finally kind of developed an artist group, an artist posse, my friends that were other artists, I was able to use them as critics. You can only critique your work to a capacity, and you're looking at your work all the time, but to have a fresh pair of eyes look at your work and give you more information about what they think that it should translate to is so much more helpful. They also I've had artist friends, like one particular that I'm thinking of, he's like said, oh, you should do this show or you should do this event. It's really, really good. It's got good revenue. It's a good show to showcase it, and you'll get a lot of feedback. What is it? Yeah, and then they'll also open your eyes to new artists or their artist friends, and then your group grows, and they will give you also feedback, or they'll support you in your art endeavors, and this will kind of push you to keep working more and more and more. Therefore, your work evolves, and you start to develop a style that will translate and evolve, and so on and so on. And this can go for anybody that maybe other artists on YouTube, live streamers, people that you meet at shows. These people can be found in so many places, and I guess that's about it. I will leave the how I found my style for later. I mean, in short, it just kind of happened for me. I was experimenting with influences of some other of my favorite artists, and then I found that I really enjoyed the quality and style of the animation and cartoon. So when I just kind of did it, and I liked it. I kind of transcended from what I was doing into this style, and kind of just kept doing it. Did terrible work for a while, and then I just kept doing it, and then I came up with some really good work and then got a little better. And I still have my moments where I make bad art, but who doesn't have those moments? And I mean, I'm here where I am today. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too drawling. I just wanted to put it out there so that you guys can potentially have something to listen on to. I sometimes can ramble, I know, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. This is your time to follow and subscribe. Check out all of my social media and keep up. That's about it. Alright.